Hey, what's up guys? This is Guy here with KBTrainings. Today I'm going to react to this blog article from Cisco. It was published on July 7th, 2022. And apparently it's creating a lot of waves in the certification industry. I saw a first video on YouTube, second one, a third one, and then I saw in a forum where people were literally losing their because of this.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Everybody calm down.
And that's when I realized that there is a serious problem with some people when it comes to preparation for a certain Cisco exam. For those of you who don't know, the news is that so far when you take the CCNA or the CCNP exam, and they're talking about the associate and the professional level, we know the kind of questions that come to the exam. Usually you have multiple choice question, you have drag and drop questions, you have some compare and contrast questions. So we know those. We didn't have any kind of lab. I made a video a couple months ago when I took the CCNA exam. I told you what kind of questions I found on the exam, and I gave you some tips and tricks to pass the CCNA exam. But Cisco is announcing that starting on July 7th, I think, you will have the opportunity to show your skills in the CLI. As they say here, candidates will have more opportunities to demonstrate their knowledge and skills. So you should be able at the exam to show that you know how to handle the CLI, you know how to configure devices, which means that you're going to have access to the CLI and have a topology like here. They're showing some topology diagram, and you have access to the CLI. You'll be able to tap your command and configure whatever is required in that question. And let's stop right there. If this one is freaking you out, then you have a problem in your way of preparing the CCNA or the CCNP exam, because this shouldn't be a problem to you. In your way of preparing the exam, you should be comfortable playing with the CLI. And if you're studying with me, because I have a course on the CCNA 200-301, it's on the website, KBTrainings.com. I go from zero to engineer. I teach you everything you have to know to be able to take and pass the CCNA and know exactly the content of the CCNA. I've always advised to do a lot of labs after reading or after watching the videos. For every video you watch, for every document you read, you need to lab it up all the time, every day. You need to do at least 30% of reading, and the 70% of your preparation should be you in the lab on packet tracer, GNS3, or in your physical lab. You need to be able to practice and do a lot of that. When I read about a concept, I know the basics about the concept, and then I go to the lab to lab it up and master the concept, or at least have my hand used to the commands for that specific concept. And that's how I do it. I said it in my very first video on this channel, where I gave you my secrets on how to take Cisco exams and pass, because I've done many of them and it works for me. Some reading, a lot of labs, it works. Because this is a technical field. Cisco is technical. You need to have hands-on experience. You need to have a lot of practice to be able to tackle or even understand what we're talking about here. That's why sometimes I'm surprised when I receive messages like, hey Guy, I've been certified since 2015. And I'm not judging anybody. I'm not trying to pull you down or anything, but I'm just saying, hey, I've been certified since 2015, but I didn't understand much about the certification or about Cisco. But the way you give your course or your lessons, I feel like I should redo the whole thing with you. Okay, I'm glad you realized that something is missing and you're trying to fix it. But how did you get certified without being comfortable with the CLI, for example? How did you get certified without being comfortable with the whole exam blueprint? That can be a problem, because you can be the type of person that has the CCNA but can't find a job. Because it's not about being certified. I've always said that. It's not about being certified. It's about getting the knowledge. So you might have a CCNA without knowledge. You will have a hard time finding a job. You have a hard time defending yourself at interviews. And if you get the chance to get hired, you will get stuck there forever, because you don't want to go and confront the market out there. You are limited in your knowledge and you get comfortable and you stay there for 8 years. But if you are good, if you have the knowledge, even if you are not certified, you can have the knowledge without being certified. People like that exist as well, because they are better off. They have the knowledge, they have the experience, even though they're not certified. And let me say this, an exam like the CCNA can bring you from zero to an engineer. But it doesn't mean that it's a beginner's exam. It's not for beginner, literally. Let me give you an example. I worked for a managed service provider back in the days, and I was in the NOC, which is the Network Operations Center. They have a lot of positions or levels throughout the NOC. You can start, if you are a beginner, you can start as Technician 1 in the NOC. You can go Technician 2, Technician 3. Sometimes they even have Technician 4 as well. And then you go to the engineering positions. You can be Engineer 1, Engineer 2, Engineer 3. And the company had some criteria that you need to meet in order to be considered for a promotion or for a new position at a certain level. And the CCNA was only required for Engineer 3. So you can be a Technician 1, Technician 2, Technician 3, Engineer 1, Engineer 2 without the CCNA. But you need a CCNA to be an Engineer 3, which means that it's something. It's an exam that is complex, even though I always say it's not impossible. You just need to cut it into small pieces and digest those bites of knowledge, and you'll be good. That's why I always advise everybody to do it. It doesn't mean that if you get the CCNA, you are going to be an Engineer 3. You can start as a technician. And if you have the CCNA and you apply for a technician position, you are overqualified for it. You are most likely going to be hired, which means, if you studied well, of course, and from there you can go up, or you can start as an Engineer 1 or 2, or you can start as a junior engineer. It's going to be much easier for you. And for an Engineer 1 and Engineer 2, you are going to do a lot of troubleshooting, a lot of configuration, so you need to be able to manipulate the CLI. That's why when you take the CCNA exam, you cannot be afraid of seeing the CLI at the exam. This is a non-event. This is something you should be used to. And give me a lot of likes on this video. If I have enough likes, I'm going to take the exam and I'll come back to tell you what I found on there. Not the specific questions, but I'll tell you what it looks like and how to prepare for your certification. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this, like on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Also share it with your community on social media, and make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you are studying for the CCNA, check out the CCNA course on KBTrainings.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and bye.